What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new StarCraft 2 video. This one was played at the IEM in Katowice and was one of the quarterfinal games of that tournament, spawning here in the bottom right hand corner of Port Alexander LE, playing with the red Zerg pieces. He goes by the name of none other than Solar. And his opponent spawning the top left-hand corner of the map, playing with the blue Zerg pieces. He's one of my favorite StarCraft 2 pro gamers of all time. I absolutely love watching this guy with the Zerg pieces. His name is Dark. So guys and girls, this series and this game in particular were played at, as I said, the IEM in Katowice was one of the quarterfinals of that tournament, so the round of 8, and this, you know, as a best of 5, all of these games do matter in the grand scheme of things. They're very important to win these early matches, and you know, in the early stages of the game, you want to kind of see exactly what your opponent's going to be doing, of course, because you know this first game they're going to try to get kind of a feel for one another and what each other, you know, they want to set the tone for the series, of course, and so. I gotta say, guys, the games I've casted so far of the IEM in Katowice have been absolutely incredible. Such a fun tournament, to say the least, and I'm excited to see what these two players, you know, what happens here, because it's a ZvZ matchup. Usually these games tend to get extremely intense very quickly, and so we'll have to see how it kind of turns out here as we're approaching that 2-minute mark already. And I've been continuing talking without even explaining what each player is deciding to do here in the early stages of the game. It looks like a hatch gas pool opener out of Solar. On the opposite side of the map, it does look like Dark decided to get that early hatchery. He's doing the hatch gas pool opener, but going for a quick third hatchery as of right now. I wonder if we're going to see Solar doing something similar here shortly. He is getting some Zerglings out, so he is deciding to, instead of expanding super quickly on that third, to get a third hatchery, he's going ahead and just going to start macroing up a, you know, some drones to start mining, of course, getting some early Zerglings out and some queens. Does look like that third base is going to be going down here shortly, a little bit later than that of Dark, because Dark's is already finished up, but there are going to be some Zerglings that are going to start moving across the map. So yeah, I have this has been an intense tournament so far, guys, that as I've been casting these games. Lots of fun for sure. It does look like these Zerglings are going to try to start targeting down those Zergling cocoons. It looks like Dark is going to have to move off from that third hatchery, at least for the time being. And it does look like, I do got to say, those skins on these Zerg units is absolutely insane. It like looks so sick from the war chest. Does look like the follow-up here is going to be a Baneling nest out of both players. We are going to see that metabolic boost upgrade coming in for the Zerglings, which of course is the Zergling speed upgrade. But as I said, this is a matchup that can just turns into, you know, you can have a macro-focused game, but there's a lot of times just so much that's happening all across the map. And sometimes it's actually extremely difficult to keep track of everything. But that said, we are going to see the Baneling nests are going to be finished. It looks like we're going to see an evolution chamber coming in here for Solar. And usually what you'll see is, you know, Zerglings, Banelings, and then a lot of times Roaches, or, you know, you move into the lair units and you start getting the Hydras out. So really, these interesting compositions that come into play when you're talking about the ZvZ matchup, a very exciting one to say the least. And I really do enjoy it. I know a lot of people don't like ZvZ or watching it. I absolutely love it because there's just so much strategy that goes into it. But to say the least, it looks like Dark is going to start moving down. It looks like he is going to get a surround on one of these queens at the third base location. Looks like that queen is going to go down, and he's going to retreat after that. Banelings are out. You got to be very careful with those Baneling hits. You do not want to take a crippling amount of damage here. Nice target firing down there. Does look like all that said and done, looks like Solar is probably going to be able to hold off here, at least for the time being. A couple more Banelings are going to be coming in now for Dark. And the action's really happening at Solar's third base. Here we go. Those Banelings are going to try to get some connections. Nice connection there on that last Baneling of Dark. And it really comes down to a lot of micro out of these Zerglings and the Zerg units. You just got to really... It's a very complex ordeal as we see Dark transitioning into the Roach Warren. And on the opposite side of the map, though, something that we got to keep track of is the Spire is going to be coming in out of Solar. So Solar is getting the Spire, whereas Dark is going for more ground-based units. And this might get interesting here because it might throw Dark a little bit off guard here. As we continue here, it looks like we are going to see the lair coming in now for Dark, and we're also going to see the evolution chamber finishing up there for him as well. So lots of jawing back and forth, and that's what this matchup is all about. Just lots of things happening all across the map. Not as of yet, but there is still action happening at this third hatchery of Solar. And it looks like Dark is just trying to find an angle, not really getting anything, you know, crazy done as of yet. But it does look like we are going to start seeing the roaches coming out for Dark. And I wonder if he's going to go into, you know, the Zerg, the Ling Roach Ravager composition here, as that lair is going to be finishing up here shortly. Queens are here for that defense as well, as it seems like Solar wants to start pressuring this third hatchery of Dark. He is going to back off, at least for the time being. We are going to see 6-8 now. 8 of those Mutalisks on the production tab currently. And the thing is I don't know if Dark knows about this, about the Spire or anything. He may very well get completely thrown off guard here. And this could do a little bit of some damage for sure. There's no Spore Crawlers anywhere. Dark has no idea that this is coming. Absolutely brilliant decision making. Now we are going to see now these the Mutalisks are going after one of those Overlords, so it does seem like Dark does know as of now that there are Mutalisks out on the playing field, and it looks like he is going to immediately start those Spore Crawlers. So nonetheless, we are going to see more and more Mutalisks being added to the mix there. And at this point, it looks like we are going to see, I think I just saw, did I just think I see what I just saw, and that is the Nidus network, and it looks like a beautiful scout there by Solar. But the thing is here we go. The Nidus Worm's going to be coming in near this third base location, and it does look like the Zerglings are already over at this location, and the Queens are out. Here we go. It does look like the Queens are completely out, are going to be able to transfuse that Nidus Worm, and this is where it's going to get absolutely insane, because there is going to be things happening all over the map as another Nidus is going to be started here, and it looks like there are going to be Zerglings in the main base location, and it looks like right now we are going to see Spore Crawlers coming in. And then on top of that, roaches are going to be coming in as well. There's a lot of mutas here, and those mutas can do absolutely so much damage, at least at this point. So it's going to be very interesting now. What are you going to do? As we see on the upside of the map, Solar is trying to get into that natural base location. They are going to make their way down to that third base location. There's just things happening all over, and this is what I love about the ZvZ matchup game number 1 at the IEM Katowice. It is going to be what I think an intense matchup between these two. Here we go. Transfuses are coming in. A lot of this is very risky by Solar, trying to take on all of these Queens. A lot of those units are starting to go down. The transfuses are coming in. Oh, man. And now the spores are moving down. Dark is trying to take a quick lead here. As we approach that 9-minute mark, they're moving towards that third base location, and it looks like, just like that, Dark is going to take over that third base location, but at the same time, Solar is trying to counterattack and doing as much damage as he can at the third base as well. Lots of action is still happening over to that third base. That third base is pretty much definitely going to go down. Looks like Solar is going to sacrifice it. The transfuses are going to be coming in. It looks like it's all about the strength in numbers as those Spore Crawlers are starting to move. A lot of these Queens are going down at this point, and if they do, it looks like they are going to go down. Solar is able to get as much damage done there to all those Queens. Beautiful play. There's still action happening on Dark side of the map. There's a lot of action. There's still a lot of mutas, though, and these mutas could be the tail of the tape, at least for the time being. Even though Dark is ahead of the supply, I just don't know. There are spine crawlers out as well. How are you going to be able to really push into this? It looks like more and more queens are going to be coming into the mix here. A lot more roaches are coming as well. And here we go. It does look like queens are going to be going after those mutalisks. The mutalisks are trying to do as much damage as possible. The spore crawlers are going to help with that pressure as here comes the GG, and Dark takes a 1-0 lead over Solar with consistent aggression, a beautiful Nidus network push there, and Solar was not able to hold on against the swarm of Dark. I hope you guys did enjoy this game between Dark and Solar, and if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and I'll talk to you guys all in game number 2.